Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Linda and I are sitting here in the park. We're sitting here having a nice coffee in the park. It's a very quiet Sunday morning. It's really nice and peaceful. She's lying down here beside me. I was going to talk about how there's so many things in this world and that you face in life which make us afraid. Everywhere you look, it's just fear, fear, fear. You switch on the news, and they're telling you about every disaster known to man that's happening all around the world. Politics is in shambles, the environment is collapsing, the cost of living, the pandemic, jobs. It's crazy. And that's just what you've got to deal with if you switch the news on. And I know we've always lived in a world where scary things have been happening all around us. It's normal. Don't think there's ever been a time, but I think at this time in history and in our lives, they really understand our emotions and our psychology so well now. And all the companies out there, the news networks, any sort of businesses that are designed to hook you to something or get you to read something, they understand human psychology and emotional very well, that they target that now. Um, and everything that they do is specifically designed to act upon your emotions and act upon your psychology. Whether it's to get you to read something or watch something or even buy something, it's all designed through psychology, emotional, through, fear factors, excitement, dopamine levels, everything, colors, phrases, everything they say is designed to hook you in. And I think you have to be very aware of it. A lot of people are not aware of it, and they get emotionally attached to things. But more so than ever, what I see is the fear factor and the scare tactics is through the roof, especially to do with wars and division and things like that in our world. And it can create a lot of fear and anxiety within people, and it can scare people. And one of the sad things about it is it can scare you into maybe not visiting the country or not liking a certain type of person, um, because you've been sold an idea about them or that place. And that's why you have to be very careful to really think for yourself. And if you, I would say, distance yourself from that and turn off that media. Don't be looking at those sorts of things because they are designed to scare us, to stop us from doing things that we want to do, from traveling or getting a certain type of job or doing something that we want to do. Keep us locked in a fear. And then when you go out and about, you'll meet other people. I don't know how many times I've met people, and the first thing they say to me is, "Did you hear what happened on the news about this country or that country or the latest gadget?" You know, because you can tell straight away what they're watching and what they're doing with their spare time, and they're locked in a sort of a fear about it. Now I notice all these things, and of course I notice, food prices getting dearer, and I notice things that are going on in the world, but I don't let my mindset focus on them. I pay attention to what's going on around me. but I keep it at a distance because I don't want it to affect me psychologically or emotionally. I want to still be able to do things I want to do without being influenced by other things. Let those things in the world can suddenly become an incredibly scary place because you start to think that those things are outside your door, but they're not. Most of them are not. And one of the things that society is so good at, I would say more than anything else, is scaring us or trying to scare us. I try to disconnect myself as much as I can from all of that so that it doesn't invade my thinking and my mental state. Because I've seen people become so overwhelmed by it. I used to work as a support worker, and I remember I used to go and visit our elderly people in the morning. They, God love them, they had very little to do because some of them might have been very ill, but just watch the news all day. And they were terrified. You'd go in and that's all they would be talking about war and politics and whatever else was going on. And they would just be so anxious about it all. And it was very sad to see, and I used to try and have a little bit of a joke and a laugh with them, tell them to turn it off, it was a load of rubbish. You know? And a lot of this stuff gets programmed through media, through television, and God, I don't know when the last time I ever watched a television. I don't own a television. I think I stopped watching television probably about 20 years ago, and I've never owned a television since. And I don't buy newspapers. And anything that I hear, online. But I have the choice to turn it off or move away from it if I don't want to look at it. But I do pay attention to what's going on. And you might find you have people around you as well who are caught up in all of this. I had friends before who used to text me every day telling me, about something that's happened, a war has broke out, or something a politician said, or something like that, just really crazy. And I didn't want to know anything about it. Because as soon as that would come in, I would feel it affecting my emotional state, and I didn't want it affecting me. And it was quite clear it was affecting them as well. So I had to learn how to distance myself from people like that who were always projecting that fear that was being projected onto them. And you might have people who say to you, oh, don't go to that country, or oh, I wouldn't work for that person, and that fear can stop you from doing things. So I would say, if you want to do something, just do it. Don't listen to what the news is saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. Because what you tend to find is, if you go to these places, it's nothing like what they're portraying on media. I've experienced that myself in the past, where people have said to me, "Oh, don't go to this country. Don't go to that country. It's war torn, or people are crazy, or whatever." And it was nothing like that. It was nothing like what the media was portraying it to be. See these things on social media about all the 5 worst cities to live in or poorest. And I've been to these places and they were nothing like they were being portrayed. They were just normal places. So don't let the world scare you. Think for yourself and distance yourself as much as you can from papers and news and television. And if you can, chuck your telly, get rid of it. You know, and distance yourself from people who are scaremongering because they're scared, you know, and they're letting that into their psychology. You don't want to be around that either because that's just as bad. That's it, just instead of it coming through the television, it's been programmed into them and it's coming through them instead. So it's just the same thing. Our weather's been a bit bonkers, to be honest. It's very unusual for London area to be the weather to be so erratic. It's normally really good weather we get at this time of year, but we've had an incredibly wet spring, and then it's been sporadic, really hot days. Hopefully it will settle down. It's really nice today. It's going to be a hot day. And now Scotland, I lived in Scotland for like over 10 years, and Scotland's a very cold country. Don't get much, we don't really get summer, but usually May time is the nicest time of the year up there. And my sister was telling me yesterday that they've had like 23 degrees, which is, it's not that hot, but it's hot for Scotland. So the only thing about this really damp weather that we've had, it's brought a lot of mosquitoes out. Because anyway, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been tuning in and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. I love coming out and doing these videos with my Luna. And once I start travelling again, I'll be able to take you to see some really nice places. I look forward to that. Think about all the places that I've been to before where I didn't have the channel. Some incredible places that I could have filmed. I'll probably be revisiting most of those places again anyway. So anyway, thank you to everybody who's subscribed and liked the videos. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Take care.